Welcome to Pandora's Awareness Podcast, a place where we collect stories and circulate life-changing wisdom. I'm your host Asher, and our guest today is Jody. It's spelled a little bit different, but I see Jody in it. And today's theme is around fear, and that's our Wednesday theme. And you're here because we get to talk about fear, Jody. I'm curious to get into some of your own personal fears, and we get to share those with other people. And just if you don't mind sharing where you're hailing from, what you specialize in, how you adding value to the world, and who you being a hero to, and then we can get into fear. Over to you.
Hi, thank you for having me. I am a romance author. I have published 12 books, currently working on putting out my first series. Um, I started writing in 2022, and as of now, as of April, I have 12 books out.
Wow.
And I'm from California, I'm born and raised.
Perfect. And who do you want to be a hero to if I had to ask you that question?
I would love to be a hero to just anybody that kind of needs someone that they can relate to in a sense because when I'm like even writing, I try to put in stuff that's like relatable that people don't really talk about. And I also leave resources, whether it's in the chapter or at the end of the book. For example, I have a book called Finding Home. So in that book and in Beautiful Mistake, I put the resources for domestic violence in the back. I put the resources for like suicide hotlines and stuff like that. So just anybody that kind of needs like some a character that they can relate to.
Mm. Why romance novel?
I grew up reading romance, so I just
Mm.
decided why not write it. I recently got into fantasy, like in 2022. I read like the Avatar series, and I was like, it was okay. It wasn't my cup of tea until like A Court of Silver Flames. When I read that book, I found a character, Nesta, who was very relatable in the fact that she handles her depression by shutting people out. And when I read that book, I was like, if I could relate to a character, I can probably make characters that people can relate to, while also highlighting and promoting my Punjabi community. So my main characters are Punjabi because there's books out already with Indian characters, but they're never Punjabi characters.
Mm. Mm. I thought about the fantasy stuff too myself. And I was thinking about how much creativity is in that space, like how you can go any direction, right? Because
Right.
mostly I write about self-development stuff and people regular story, but I was thinking about that. I was like, maybe one day I will get to a place where I can sit down and start creating those fantasy stuff. Let's take him somewhere.
Yeah, and I just launched my editing services like
Hmm.
recently, and I just made like 3 sales so far. But I think I
Oh.
started like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I've made 3 sales.
And you only edit the romance stuff, the fantasy stuff,
I,
or
I I edit everything. I
everything?
just
Oh.
did a fantasy book. I just finished yesterday.
Uh, Hmm. So your love of reading got you into writing, and
Right.
now you start writing and you got yourself into editing. What's next?
Well, going back, it wasn't like necessarily my love of reading. It was more like my therapist telling me writing is like a way of healing.
Oh.
And she meant like journaling and stuff, which I was doing, but it wasn't really working. So when I read Silver Flames, I was like, let me just try taking this enemies to lovers approach because that's like my favorite genre and writing this book, kind of, you know. So the characters are relatable. But like Niti, who in The Chaos Within Us, my debut novel, Niti's story kind of with her uncle is like the trauma that I've been through.
Mhm.
So other than that, it's like an enemies to lovers romance book, but like it did help me because it kind of made me realize like this is what I want to do.
Hmm. Was there any fear for you when you first started?
When I started writing,
Hmm.
oh yeah, I was very because I didn't really know who to reach out to. I didn't know like publishing process and everything. So my first book, like on Amazon, it's like a low review, because that's when it like debuted and like editors are so expensive and stuff. So when I found an editor, I like wiped the chaos within us and I rewrote the whole thing from third person to first person point of view.
Hmm.
And I changed some characters, I changed the whole thing. But I think when people see the Amazon reviews, they just go based off that. They have like, they have no idea that it's been all rewritten. Like it's a whole different book from what the review says.
Hold on. Back up. You saying that you had it in the third person and you switched it to the first person, same book, but switch over the point of view and it made a big impact?
Yeah, it's more cleaner, smoother, and everything, you know.
Hmm.
But like
What's
the reviews on Amazon are based off the third person point of view. So that's, but like the reviews on Amazon are like like 2.5 or something, but on Goodreads, because the people who read the other version, it's way different. It's up higher.
Hmm. You know, if you don't mind me staying here for a little bit, because I'm curious about your book journey. We can jump into a lot of different things here. So, um, I know in when it comes to like personal development or like say personal development or any kind of business stuff, it's kind of like it's good to talk in the second person context, the
Yeah,
second person point of view. But then you're saying when it comes to novel or romance novel, first person and third person makes a difference. Now, which one is the best point of view to kind of write in?
I feel a lot of people would prefer first person point of view just because
Mm.
it's more their feelings and stuff. Where third person is a lot of like first person is more show not tell based. So it's like yes, I can like relate to this person in that sense, but third person it's like harder to get through like what emotions they're kind of feeling. Even if
Mm.
the author does explain it, it's more like just versus people that want to see, not tell, and then tell, not see.
Mm. So like, and you started in 2022, you said,
Writing, yes.
writing. Wow, and you did 12 books.
Yeah.
That's 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
May of 2022, but I didn't publish my first book until like September of 22.
Mm. That's some writing for you, man. That you're pretty good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much you got really good imagination. Put 12 books out already.
Yeah, that's why I'm writing a series because I'm like, I got this job.
So what's the advantage do you think about the series piece of it? Why are series versus just keep putting out what you've been doing?
Wait, I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I'm saying why you switching over to a series versus what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah, I never wrote a series. So I just wanted to try it.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So tell me
And
about
like
some of your. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I just like I remember I was talking to some people and I love the fact that I'm leaving all my series on a cliffhanger. And it's funny because they'll get back to me after like doing the beta reading or the editing and they're like, okay, where's part two? And I'm like, not even written yet, just thoughts, bullet points written down.
Wow.
I know what's gonna happen in all the books, but because I'm releasing, so it's the Entwined series, and Entwined Fates is coming out in the summer, and then in the fall will be book two, and then book three, and then book four. So it'll be like fall, winter, spring, and it's so many people are like, "You're gonna keep leaving cliffhangers. Why are you doing this to?"
Mm. Hmm. I'm curious because I want to tap into that world too. By the way, sometime in the future, I really want to try out the fantasy world, see how that goes. My imagination take me. So let me, if you don't mind me asking, what's your strategy to writing when you're putting together your books? What's your like your routine or your strategy?
So I like have bullet points. I have my whiteboard over there, and I just like kind of have like book two. Like if a thought comes up to me, or if I'm doing something like real life related, and I'm like, you know what, that'd be cool if they did this in this book. So two, three, four, it's like separated, and I just have like bullet points, and then I'll write it on my phone, and
Hmm.
then I'll put together the Google Doc afterwards. Because here's the thing: a lot of authors go chapter one, chapter two, chapter three. I don't do that because when you're creative, whatever sometimes I write the end first. I'll write the and then the beginning and then the middle. Sometimes I'll write the middle first and then the beginning, the end. It's out
Hmm.
of order, and that's how I can avoid writer's block. Because if I
Hmm.
sit chapter one, I'm like, no, this doesn't go here, like that. And
Hmm.
that's how I was able to put all of these books out because I don't follow a certain order. Like for creative writing, you have to unlearn what they taught you in school about beginning, middle, and end.
Hmm.
I mean, you need to have the idea of where the book is going, but you have to unlearn how to write that order.
Hmm. And you say you use mostly, is it Punjabi? Or you
Yeah,
said,
most of my main characters are Punjabi. Yes, I have some like Middle Eastern, Korean, um, like they're mixed, obviously, but like the main characters are Punjabi.
throughout all your books?
There's two that they're just Indian, but throughout, no, not throughout all of them, because in Better Than Him, they're Italian, like
Mhm.
mixed.
And do you repeat characters from one separate book to the next, or you just different? How does that
I
play out?
do Easter eggs. So there's like some books that like the characters will be like, oh, like this is a character from like right now in Entwined Fates, there's characters from Whisked Away, but not like they're not in the actual book, but their names kind of pop back up. And the same thing with the Chaos Within Us in Entwined Fates. Because Niti in the Chaos Within Us is a fashion designer. So in Entwined Fates, when Serena gets her outfit, when Avian gives Serena the outfit, it says designed by Niti. Like,
Mhm.
and then it's like, oh, wait, what? So I like to bring Easter eggs into my books.
Hmm. Let me poke into your life a little bit, if you don't mind. So, what is some of your biggest fear right now in your life? Biggest fear?
Biggest fear right now is probably my health. So Hulk 360 from books, from books, but yeah, it's probably just my health. Just a lot of health scares. I get really anxious about anything health related. Like, I dance. I'm on dance teams,
Mhm.
and I don't know if I pulled a muscle or if I strained it. This morning, I woke up with an anxiety attack. I had to take my mom, who unfortunately is having a lot of arthritis, is having muscle spasms, is like older now, so she's getting a lot of that.
Mhm.
And the whole time I was trying to talk to the doctor, but my heart was like
Mhm.
just beating so fast, and I'm just like, calm down. So I'm gonna go to the chiropractor after this. Like finally.
Mhm. So what kind of dancing do you do?
I do traditional Panjabi dance, so Gidda and Bhangra. That's what it's called. It's folk dance.
Folk dance.
Folk dance.
I can't imagine it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to picture it, but I can't imagine it. I don't
I
think
would
I've
show
seen
you, but my knee's messed up.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't do that to you. We won't do that to you. Mm. So so you're worried about your health because you had a fall. That's your biggest fear. So you're worrying about your health? How far? What's the worst that could happen? Are you thinking about right now?
I think a lot of it stems from the fact that when I was born, I was
Mhm.
in the NICU for like 2 weeks, right? So ever since I've like heard about that, I was doing completely fine. I'm like in my in my late 20s now. But before that, like literally all the time before that, I kid you not, I was fine. I never went to the doctors. Anxiety was a thing of like, what the hell is this thing that everybody's talking about? And after I found that out, it's just 10 times worse.
Mm.
Ever since I've heard that, my anxiety's been like, oh my God, like, let's go get you checked. Like right away, I'll be like, I need a doctor. Like, I need to make an appointment. Like last year, I think I went to the doctor with my seasonal depression too. But I went to the doctor for like maybe 3 times a month because I was like freaking out about
Mhm.
like the littlest thing, and it was just anxiety. It was just anxiety, stress, seasonal depression. So basically, that was the factors. And now, like I actually have like pulled a muscle and stuff. My PCP is on vacation, so I'm like,
Mhm.
great. Now I just get to go to the chiropractor at least.
What leg? Left or right?
Uh, right leg,
Which is your dominant hand?
right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. I read something. I can't remember exactly, but because I had injured my. Wait a minute. Um, I can't remember exactly. I think it's, oh, it's my right shoulder. I think it's my right shoulder. Oh my God, I gotta remember now. My right shoulder. I had injured my right shoulder snowboarding, and it was like a wake up call for me because like I used to ride my board so fast, right? People's like, Ashley, you gotta slow down.
Yeah.
And I used to be just hit the mountain, just go, right? Because I love the adrenaline, I love the feeling like I'm just flying
Yeah.
down the mountain. And people say I should slow down, but I never really like, man, because I have like my knees kind of like a little bit because I was in the military, I beat my knees down. So certain position on the snowboard, like if I'm doing too much turns, you mess with my knee, kind of burns me out too easy. But when I just ride and ride straight,
Yeah.
long and fast, I don't feel it on my knees. So that's why I ride fast.
Right.
But then I fell and I messed up my shoulder. Yeah, it's my right shoulder. I remember now, it's my right shoulder. I can feel it. It's my right shoulder. I messed it up. But then somebody was telling me sometimes it was like sometimes you're injured, based on your left or your right side that determines what the universe is trying to tell you. So I think I read
Oh,
something up about the side of my body that that I was that what it means. It means something with the injury on the left or the right side, or the left or the right foot, something like that. So you got probably gotta look it up and see what it means. I forget, but when I look it up, I think it was telling me that I needed to slow down.
oh,
I needed to slow down, and I need to grow myself into something because I was just like I was just playing for the longest, just playing. I had some other stuff in my life I needed to work on and focus on. So I was looking, I was like, oh, it's actually made a little sense. So I was like, what's the universe trying to tell me?
yeah,
So maybe you probably need to go look it up about your getting injured on your dominant side. What does that actually mean?
yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's more like they were telling me it's more like a strain, like a muscle strain, because
Hmm.
me, I'm so smart. I forgot to stretch before starting, and nor did I cool down. So it's like a muscle pull or like a strain or something.
Hmm.
But I'm
Hmm.
gonna get it checked today just to be on the
Yeah.
safe side and to help
What it
my.
call? I can see how it causes paranoia and anxiety because I think mine had me really thinking because I didn't realize how brittle my bone were. You know,
Yeah,
like I was like, man, I just got injured so fast, and then after that, I really think maybe I need to stop riding so fast now, and because
yeah,
I was getting on the military too, and I was like, I'm no longer in the military. I don't have the medical system like I used to have. I don't have that much time off to chill, whatever. So I was like, maybe loop my life a little bit. So that was my wake up call a little bit.
yeah. Completely understand.
Hmm.
And like that's what they were telling me. Like, spoke to my therapist yesterday. I told her what was happening, and she's like, you're not in your early 20s anymore. You're not a teenager. Like
Mm-hmm.
stretch. Like you gotta stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I forgot because I haven't. We perform about. Well, this team is my first time joining this Ginta team, so that's like the traditional girls like folk dance. It's usually done by females only, but like the Pandora is like sometimes it's only male, sometimes it's only female, sometimes it's a co-ed team. It doesn't matter for that one. And so this is my first time on this team, and I was like, oh god, I was like, I don't want to get kicked off the team either, and we have to perform in like 6 weeks. Great.
Okay. So here's my other question for you then. So in your you see you get anxiety a little bit. Yeah, you experience it now. Do you get a lot of anxiety in your work because of the character that you write about?
No, writing
Mm.
is actually my escape.
Ah.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking because I know folks that write like murder mystery and so forth and so on. Sometimes their mind go to certain places, and after
Oh,
they like that stuff is like showing up, you know, and they gotta process all that stuff sometimes. But you're like straight romance, so
yeah.
no. So do you get like the love anxiety?
I reckon just like a mystery and beautiful mistake. It's like when she like disappears and he has to like find her, where kind of like are like also that part, but then it's like who is sending these like anonymous texts to her phone that's like you have to be careful, your husband's not going to save you, stuff like that. But that's
Mm.
like beautiful mistakes, kind of like.
Say that again. I didn't hear you clearly.
Oh, so like in beautiful mistake is like the only mystery kind of that I wrote, where they have to be like in the book they have to find where she is, kind of in
Hmm.
that sense. Her husband's like freaking out, like where'd she go? But it turns out like she's with her cousin, like she's completely safe. Spoiler alert. But and then but the thing is they actually the more mystery is like who is sending these anonymous texts to her phone.
Mm. 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 Jody Hannah writing.
Yes.
What other big fears in your life that got you up at night sometimes?
Yeah, that's also health related. Like yesterday, not being able to like sleep because I sleep on my right side too. So
Mm.
then having to put the weight onto this thigh, into this knee and stuff, and there's that aspect. And then also like letting people down is a big one because I grew up as a people pleaser. But this year I'm like trying to learn like I've established boundaries. I'm doing pretty good. And I'm just like, no, that's not for me. But at the same time, like this team, they've already had people drop out on them, not make practices and stuff. So I kid you not, I was not supposed to be on this team. They told me
Mm.
already, like they're like, the day I went, Memorial Day weekend, that Sunday that I went, I thought I was on the team because they were gonna take pictures, make TikToks to promote the event. And then she's like, oh, you're not on the team. You're just here to so the pictures look fuller.
Hmm.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why? What? And then like a few days later, like last week, yeah, last week I got the message that I am on the team. And I was like, what? Why am I on the team now? They're like, oh, we lost people, so we're just gonna put you in. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll do it because I know I get a prize at the end
Mm.
because I'm getting something for free out of it. So why not?
Oh, tell me more about this dance team then. I'm curious now because you're saying that so people sign up for it or they gotta audition for it and then you get selected and you compete or how does that work?
It's not a competition. It's more just like performances for an event. So in the Punjabi calendar, the Sikh calendars does not follow the American calendar.
Mhm.
So in like August, September, um, there's a month that is celebrates. It's basically a month where females come back home, like married females. They come back to their home that they grew up in, and they host this event which is called Tia, which is like daughter. That's what that means.
Mhm.
And so that event is basically for female, like literally females only. And it's dancing, it's performances. It's basically just a time for you to come back home and enjoy with with your sister that you grew up with the mom you grew up with. Some people bring their in-laws and they're like, I want to go to the one here. And it's throughout. It's not even like it's in California. It's in California, it's in Indiana, it's in New Jersey, it's in Canada, it's in Australia, it's in India, it's in the UK, it's everywhere.
At the same time of the year.
Yeah.
Wow. And what's that date?
It varies. So the ones that we are going to perform is August 18th. And then
Mm.
there's one August 4th, there's one August 11th, there's one just they just keep coming August to like September kind of.
Mm. Interesting. I didn't know about the Indian culture. Now when I talk to other Indian folks, I'm gonna ask them about it.
Oh, this is not like Indian, it's like Punjabi Sikh based.
And okay, what's the difference then? Help me out here.
So India is like the US, right? It's a country.
Hmm.
Punjab is a state, like California is a state in the country. So people that come
Ah.
from that state, like I'll say I'm Californian, like I'm from California, right? And then that's like the same as saying I'm Punjabi in India.
Mm. Interesting. Asher's ignorance. Pardon me, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what other big fears that you have experienced in your past that has taught you some really good things about yourself, about knowing you that revealed the true Jody that most people don't really know?
So, like my anxiety, I guess that was one of my biggest fears. And I've worked with a lot of therapists, but this therapist is like the best one I've worked with. And she's the first person ever to tell me anxiety is normal. It is
Mm.
a bodily human function. Like everybody has it. Some people just get it more. You know. So like throughout, nobody ever was like, that's like anxiety is a part of you. It's protecting you, like this and that. It's like, hey, warning, is everything okay? Kind of like red, like flashing lights and stuff that are
Mm.
trying to get your attention. And then like she told me, you treat it like a friend. It's a bad friend that comes
Mm.
along with you and it's like annoying you every second, like, hey, pay attention. But it's a part of you. It's like just that.
Well, I had an episode today. For some reason, I woke up today. I don't know. I felt paralyzed mentally. The paralysis thing that happens. I just didn't feel like doing anything today. I was like, man, why am I feeling like this? Didn't have no energy. And I know because I put a lot of, because yesterday I sat down and redo my calendar and I was like, oh my God, I have so much stuff to do. And I was like, oh my God,
Today
when
until
am I
my
get
watch
to?
went off, I was like, oh, I have a today.
But yeah, it hits me and I was like, so I kind of like just clean up my day a little bit and I went to the pedicure shop, whatever. I just got because my feet was looking really bad out, like I needed to do them. But I just kind of took a little time to kind of walk around and just figure out what I'm gonna do with tomorrow. Because today is pretty much it's like it's a wrap today. Whatever's on my calendar, I'm just gonna knock it out. But I won't like really think about it too much.
Yeah,
But some days that happens where I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing anything. Where's the motivation? The energy doesn't have it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
stuff.
So you say you do editing right now. So that's some of the service that you offer right now is editing.
Yeah, so I do three packages. One of them
Mm-hmm.
is like $35, and then see, oh, I'm sorry, I'm still new to this myself. I forgot the word count. So I'm gonna give you the word count too as I do it.
Yeah, yeah, do that, do that. So when
Um,
people hear you right now and probably want to work with you somehow, they can kind of find a way to do that.
yeah, it's on Fiverr, but
Mm-hmm.
I take it through PayPal only because Fiverr takes like 20%,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, so 5,000 words for $35, $65 dollars for 10,000 words, and 30,000 words is $110. So like a novel is $110 always.
Mm.
Yeah.
How big is your novels, by the way?
They're this big. These are two books. These are two books.
Oh, oh.
So it's about so this is the tiniest book that I've written. It's 186 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Average is usually up to 215 pages, around
Mm.
200 pages.
Incredible. Well, thank you, Jody, for talking to me today, giving me a little bit about your journey, your insight, and what you specialize in. And if I had to ask you what was your biggest takeaway from this conversation, what would that be?
Biggest takeaway from this conversation, probably just like talking about like the health concerns and stuff. And
Hmm.
I'm definitely gonna look at what the right side means, what the universe is trying to tell me right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, and last thing is, what is that one thing or two thing when people do it drive you crazy? If you had to share,
One thing that people do,
or two that drive you crazy. Yeah,
related to my field or just in general.
just in general.
Well, one thing that like I guess drives me crazy is people that are not nice to like service, I guess work like waiters, hotel staff and stuff, like
Mhm.
service. It's just like, dude, they're just trying to do their job, relax. You're not the center of the universe, relax. So that's what I always like. I'll look at them and somebody actually today at Target got mad at somebody at the cashier and stuff. And I like as she was like picking up her bags, I said it just because I'm petty. So as this girl was picking up her bags, I told the cashier, like making sure that this person can hear me too. I told the cashier, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry you had to go through that."
Mm.
So,
Yeah, that happens. Those folks that are not kind, man. Yeah, sometimes you seem like, why, yeah, you did that. That
yeah.
wasn't necessary.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you tuned in to Pandora's Awareness Podcast, a place where we collect stories and circulate life-changing wisdom. And today you get to meet Jody on her journey and the things she using to add value to the world, which is doing a lot of romance novels. So you're gonna check her book out. And where can they get most of your books at, by the way, if they want to check out
Amazon,
your books?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, and you can
Okay.
follow me on Instagram. GEET is booked, and there's my link tree in my bio, so you should just be able to access everything from there.
From me. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. And with that, folks, you go to make it an awesome day.